I would say there was a time in my life that I thought of it as an art form, and having spent summers in New York City with my grandfather, I saw some amazing displays of graffiti art, and I think what's going on now, and especially now as a small business owner and everything, the what used to be an art form has sort of been overrun with anybody with a can of spray paint.
I think that as a movement, as a youth movement, it's undeniable that it's something that's reaching masses of young people. And I think that the city should try and embrace it rather than charging after kids with new task forces and hundreds of thousands of dollars invested to try and stop it, because it's I think it just makes it more fun for kids to have it be against the status quo of what's going on. So until the city embraces it, I think it's just going to be done wherever and whenever.
I know that from being involved with the city council on trying to create a kinder, gentler way of dealing with it, but still dealing with it. We've looked at other cities. San Diego had a lot of trouble with it. They outlawed spray paint. Spray paint cans, anybody who's under 21 without a parental, and you could only buy 2 at a time and stuff. And so they're trying to do different things like that. And I hate to think Asheville would have to get to that level where there's no free will or anything like that. But supposedly in San Diego, it's gone down 70%. So that's an incredible number. And for the businesses there, we spend probably about $2,000 at least a year on the supplies for graffiti, and that probably an equal amount on labor. And so when we start getting to economic times like this, when we're having to look at laying off part-time employees who are mostly UNCA kids or Asheville High kids or anything like that, it sucks that we have to spend $400 to paint over a wall that took somebody 3 minutes to destroy, and it means that we have to cut a couple of people here and there.
The point for us was to try and provide a downtown space where it was a safe zone for artists that we deemed to be on the highest level of doing graffiti arts. And that piece was done by an artist, Dustin Spagnola, who started as a graffiti artist and has moved into doing more gallery type static art on canvas. I took responsibility for that piece, being the owner of the gallery, and I gave consent to him to do it. So he did it in broad daylight at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and basically had 4 cops down there within a half an hour, ready to take him to jail. But because I gave him permission to do it, it was okay.
There's so much bad graffiti that true graffiti artists are being pushed further back into the vandal kind of realm, and that's too bad, because there's amazing graffiti art out there, but what we see here is just tagging, and there's a huge difference with that, and I'm definitely for keeping a separation between true graffiti art and tagging. I don't want to see any artist ever be arrested or be fined or anything like that. So as far as I see the part of it as an art, but I see the tagging part as a very destructive economic liability.
I think that kids should try and embrace it more as an art, and work on it as a formula, like artists, any painter or any artist, whether it's somebody that works with clay or metal. There's a formula, and the more you learn the formula of how, if you're a cook and you use a recipe, then the more you practice and the more you study, then the higher your art goes. And so, there's a lot of information out there about how to become a great graffiti artist, and if you have the knack and the will to do it, then it's all available.